Dude, imagine a game with like a lot of Mario sports. Imagine that plus some, all bundled up in a Nintendo 3DS game. How would you feel if you had that in the palm of your hand? Well, look no further. Nintendo's added a game with Mario Sports Superstars on the Nintendo 3DS, and it is jam-packed with 5 fun sports games for Mario and friends to compete in. How does it stack up against other Mario sports titles? To give you a short and sweet answer, I would say it's the same, but it's also different, because there are a lot more games in this one than other sports games. The game is divided into, as I said, a lot of different events. There's soccer, baseball, tennis, horse racing, and golf. Each of those in their own special way do shine in themselves. I don't know, it's just a nice fun game to pick up and go with for a few hours. Is it my favorite 3DS game? Not necessarily, but that doesn't mean it isn't a good time. It supports amiibo too, and you know I cannot resist amiibo. But before we get too far into this, let me just make a point to mention that this game is gorgeous. Not even the game itself, but I am obsessed with this box art. It looks all glossy and fun, and I just love it. Along with the game, Nintendo also sent out a pack of amiibo cards, but we'll get to those in a second. But for now, we have some sports to talk about here. Please keep in mind that I'm not the most athletic person, but I can get down with some Mario sports. They're all pretty straightforward in Superstars. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep calling the game that for this video because the title's kind of long to just keep saying. Anyway, each one can be played in exhibition or in a tournament. I'm more of an exhibition kind of guy simply for the fact that I like to be able to pick up and just play a quick match in between things I'm doing. For the sports given, it can be a pretty easy game to just pick up and play, whether you want to play for consecutive hours or just a few minutes. Soccer is just, well, soccer. You get the ball, you kick it, yeah, you know how soccer works. Something I really like about this game is that you can customize your teams and they aren't just default. There's a good bit of variety in the characters, ranging from Shy Guys, Koopas, Toads that wear penguin suits from New Super Mario Bros., and more. Sure, it would be fun to have a nice bigger roster choice, but it is still a nice group of options. Soccer is pretty decent for what it is though. Passing between players is easy, and in general the controls are just not that complicated. The AI is actually pretty good too, which I was excited to see simply for the fact that it isn't a super simple time. It's not always a cakewalk, which is fun. The same goes with the other sports. The ones remaining to mention are baseball, tennis, horse racing, and golf. Baseball is probably my favorite of the group out of playing it, as it reminds me of one of my absolute favorite Wii games, Mario Super Sluggers. The thing about each of these sports games is that they're practically games in themselves, and I do like that a lot. In tennis, pretty much an exact replica of Mario Tennis Ultra Smash on Wii U. All of these sporting events are stretched out and for the most part do feel like an entire game in itself. No, you don't have the hubs or the extra events or anything other than the sport itself, but it is still a lot for what you're playing. To me, that is. If you're needing a Mario sports game for your 3DS collection, look no further than this. I would even advise against getting other sports games simply because this one is the superior. It's like all of those bundled into one, like the Ultimate Mario Sports Collection or something. With the 5 options to play here, if you're a sucker for Nintendo sports games, you may want this. Amiibo support adds a bit of charm to the game as well. Is it absolutely necessary? Not really, but it is kind of fun the first few times playing. Basically, if you're unaware, Nintendo is producing Mario Sports Superstars Amiibo cards. My pack included Wario, Yoshi, Daisy, and a couple others. Game comes with one also, so that way you don't even have to buy a pack if you choose against doing so. These Amiibo cards function as trainable characters that can turn into Superstar characters, simply by training it. By scanning your Amiibo cards in, a mini game using the cards comes into play. I had fun with this, but I am horrible at it. And can we just talk about the roster for the game? Okay, yeah, you have your normal Mario characters, but then Metal Mario makes a return? Cool, but then there's one other that is making their way back into more games, one that's so absurd that, my oh my. I'll let you just figure that one out on your own, but she's pretty dang similar to Metal Mario. Nintendo, please. That was a huge missed opportunity for a non-clone-like character. But anyway, this game is fun. Do I love it? No, simply because I can't get super into sports games from Nintendo, unless they're rare gems like Mario Super Sluggers or Wii Sports Resort or something like that. But baseball and horse racing are epic, and like choosing a roster for baseball or something, you get to pick out a horse for horse racing. I'm calling him Rex. The soundtrack is good but rather unmemorable to me, but the game itself looks and plays great. The controls are slick and there's definitely something in this for everyone if you're into these types of games. And you can play online also, but that one was a given. So with that said, thank you so much for watching my review of Mario Sports Superstars for Nintendo 3DS, releasing March 24th, and I will talk to you next time.